What's up, guys? Let's make this a quickie. I'm looking at my watch right now, making sure of the time, and I thought I'd talk about keto versus low carb. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. So this is a question I get quite often, so I thought I would address it as you guys are coming into the chat. That there is a time that you might want to go off of keto, not because if you do it the right way, which is very subjective to say, but to make a long story short, I've been doing this for 11 years. What's up, Monique? Yo, yo, yo. Ho, ho, ho. Christmas. Post-Christmas. Yes. So I was going to do like a Christmas, like what did you guys eat? And like, can you get through the holidays? But I was like, nah, let's get to that. So essentially you've got a ketogenic diet, which I was listening to a very smart man named Chris Masterjohn, and he was like, oh, you can't do, he started breaking down the science of the coupling and the uncoupling and being able to do keto for the long term, and talking about the Inuit and how they have this mutation in their genes, and you know how they can't produce ketones. What's up, Deborah? And they can't be in ketosis, or else their ketones become acid or something. And that was his sort of proof that we can't do keto for the long term. And I'm like, somebody needs to study me, okay? Because I've been doing this for 11 years, nonstop, no refeeding, which people are like, what's refeeding? I'm like, eating carbs again. No refeeding, no nothing, just straight up keto. I haven't had a drop of sugar, rice, pasta, sweet fruit, none of this stuff in 11 straight mother-sucking years. So I can tell you how I feel and what's been going on with my body, as you guys can see, right? That's my body doing keto at 51 for 11 years. But I digress. Let's talk about the difference between keto and low carb, because there is a difference. And y'all need to know the difference. You need to know, is it right for you guys to do keto? So let's get on to it. Now, if you're an Inuit person, according to Chris Masterjohn, you're not supposed to be able to do keto, which is very ironic because they would eat lots of fat. But I need to research more about that mutation in the genes. But with that said, a lot of you, most of you, can do a ketogenic diet. And the reason why I say that you're doing it wrong is because people have their macros wrong. They're not connected to a circadian rhythm. They don't know their existing health condition. They don't know if they have hypoglycemia or any type of like itis, any type of inflammation. So if you do a ketogenic diet and you're doing it wrong, everything's going to explode and become worse. So that's why I do these series of live videos, so you guys can learn how to do this the right way and for the long haul. Now, what I love is that I have this Keto Course Facebook group, and they're kind of my test subjects, even though I've been using test subjects over time. So my first chunk of test subjects were probably in the very, I would say in the first 2 years after my mother was diagnosed with a glioblastoma. So 2 years after that, I started to work with people, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I tried to apply the same concept that I applied to myself, that I applied onto my mother, onto them. And even though I was doing a lot of things wrong, I learned a lot. But today, 11 years later, what I'm actually realizing is that you guys are missing things. Like you're missing the oxalobacter enzyme. Now, people aren't being tested for that, but they're having such horrible reaction to oxalates. So many people are developing kidney stones. People are so horrible. We're having really bad histamine reactions to diamine oxidase, the deficiency of this enzyme that helps break down histamines. And so it'll manifest, like I said in the last stream, in, you guys are quiet. Like, what is going on? Deborah, can you type something so I know that there's nothing weird going on with the chat? I'm so used to, okay, there's nothing going on. Thank you, Mark Wires. Thank you. You guys are listening, I guess. But But you guys don't forget to hit the notification bell. A lot of people were unsubscribed. I think the YouTube algorithms, and I think this is happening to a lot of people. So you have to resubscribe and hit that bell. Okay, with that said, because the numbers are like way less out of nowhere. Okay, what's up, Richard? Okay, so with that said, I've noticed a lot of you guys have problems with vegetables. Like, I'm talking about it all the time. So, here's the problem. Some people are trying to do carnivore and they're trying to do keto. Sorry, if I can't stay, I'm still traveling. Don't worry about it, Deborah. Nice to see you. I'll keep it a short stream. So enjoy your holiday. I'm 19 minutes into my stream. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's not a perfect electronic science. They don't have it like perfected yet, because I see this in other people's live streams, so I can understand what's going on with my own. But the reason I'm kind of going into like the plant problem, the paradox with plants, and what I did in the very beginning in comparison to what I do now is I'm starting to realize that some people cannot do keto for the long term, not because of some genetic mutation, but because of their existing health issues. And it's something I really want to talk about. So it's like, when do you go back onto carbs? Should you do paleo? Should you do a low carb, high fat version of whatever, healing the body or regulating your insulin, rather than keto? So this is something I think we should really talk about. What's up, Tiffany? Blah, blah. Get my words out right tonight. So low carb, high fat is not ketogenic. So there's a really big difference between low carb, high fat and, let's say, paleo. Although low carb, high fat and paleo are pretty much the same thing, except the paleo diet has like 20,000 different versions of how to do it. And to make it very simple, like, I lived in Sweden for a very, very long time, and a lot of people are doing low carb, high fat, you know, which is like riding the line of ketosis, but not quite. And I kind of like when they call it LCHF, which means low carb, high fat. And those types of carbs are not what I consider safe carbs for people who have histamine or people who have super bad blood sugar dysregulation. So, oh, thank you, Marian. Thank you so much, Gonzalez. Thank you so much for donating to the super chat. Thank you. Y'all, I need to like get my words out clear. Yes, of course you can build muscle. I mean, obviously you can build muscle, obviously, while doing keto. But like, all of these questions are like, can I do keto with the thyroid condition, hypo Hashis? Can I do keto without a gallbladder? Can I do keto while trying to work out? And I'll go more into that after I talk about when you should go off of keto or how you should graduate into keto. Now, I think that people should do a low carb, high fat, quasi paleo version of a dietary measure to graduate themselves into a ketogenic diet if they're just worried about, you know, going through the keto flu symptoms or having the keto flu symptoms that ride the line of things that are more serious, like thyroid problems. And I'm like, you know what, if you have blood sugar problems, you probably shouldn't just do keto overnight. In the beginning, I used to explain to people, yeah, do it right away. Just get the pain over with. But because people are so dysregulated and have wonky lifestyles, nah, it's much better to graduate yourself into a ketogenic diet from 2 weeks, depending on how unstable you are with your blood sugar, and up to 5 or 6 weeks. So each week you would go down 10 to 20 grams of carbohydrate until you are off all starches and sweet fruits, and you can go straight into doing a ketogenic protocol. Thanks for your help over the years, but I have to say goodbye to keto, even carnivore, which was horrible. I'm doing so much better with fruit and carbs back in my diet. And Rob, that's why I'm doing this video today. Oh, Richard, good, because I don't know how long you can stay, Richard. I'll try to do a short stream because Deborah cannot moderate tonight, so I need the Troll Patrol to be on. Richard. So, yeah, some people they can't do keto. It's not because of a genetic mutation like the Inuit tribe. It's because they're too damaged. I'm here as long as you need. Oh, thank you, Richard. Love you, Richard. Okay, so some people, let me explain why LCHF or low carb, high fat is better for some people who just can't do keto. So, what's up, Katie? Eat until life's done. What? Okay. So, the people who don't do well with keto are third shift night workers, I'm sorry, is what it is. People who literally can't get their stress down. They can't sleep well. Can't sleep well. Can't get your stress down. You have hypoglycemia prior to doing keto, or develop obvious stages or levels of hypoglycemia on keto, or people who have chronic thyroid symptoms, or one more chronic thyroid. Also people whose electrolyte balance never but rebalances. They can't. They're malabsorptive, and so with the absence of starches and sugars, they can't hold on to magnesium, and they start having PALPs or potassium. They can't absorb the potassium or the magnesium, and they start having these low electrolyte symptoms. And the reason why that people fare better with the inability to absorb their electrolytes on a carb diet is because carbs make your cells hold on to water, hence hold on to your electrolytes. That's for people who are not healthy. People who are healthy will be absorptive and absorb their electrolytes and will not develop benign heart palps and will not develop muscle cramps and headaches and all this weird stuff. So these are the examples of people like Rob, who said I can't do it, are people who are just super gluconeogenic, super dysregulated blood sugar, swinging really, really high, which creates hypoglycemic symptoms, can't sleep, what else? And headaches and the palps and these low electrolyte symptoms. So they would fare better on doing a low carb, high fat quasi paleo, because I like low carb, high fat better. They would do better on a diet like that until they can get their life regulated or seal that gut wall, make it nice and tight so they don't have an inflammatory reaction to the ketogenic foods that they're eating. So some of the like A, B, C, D, like down the list of the reason why people give up keto is because they feel restricted with the foods that they're consuming. Some people have issues with whey and casein and butter, even though it's very small amounts. And so they don't want to do lard or tallow, and so they quit. Or, for those reasons. Or somebody who's an athlete and they're just too gluconeogenic, blood sugar's always high, and they feel like they're losing strength over time. Now that we got that settled on why people stop doing keto, I really am a proponent and push keto, you guys know. So true about third shift folks. I have clients on third shift that we've had to really work through meal timing and option. Yeah, I don't know if you do keto. What's your name? Life Health Now, Lika. But yeah, I mean, third shift night workers are getting up at 3 o'clock and going to their jobs at 4, 5, 6 and staying up all night. And people don't realize that when you're up really late at night, your body still wants to hibernate in daytime hours. So digestion becomes poor at night, slows down. You tend to be more insulin resistant at night. Blood sugar is really dysregulated with third shift night workers, and so they tend to have they have a lot of issues. I'm not gonna lie. So I better take these out of my pocket or I will never, ever remember them. Hey, Noel. Hey, Jeffrey. Thank you, Richard. Richard's reminding you guys that I have a keto course page where I go over these details. And again, the people on my page are very much subject. So we do everything. We talk the lymphatic system down to cellulite, men that can't get rid of this, to anemia issues, pernicious anemia issues, to thyroid issues, to, I mean, you name it, to like I said, the inability to digest plants. We talk about it all. blood sugar issues, sleep issues, and it's ongoing. So if you want to sign up for that, that's at stephanieperson.com. And I also have an Instagram page, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, you guys. So go follow me there because I do information every single freaking day on Instagram. Whereas here, it's really taxing to my body. Just saying. So, let me see. I still have adrenal fatigue, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is low carb stuff seems better. Okay, so Rose is asking a really great question. She says, "Hi Stephanie, how about adrenal fatigue and PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome? Which one, low carb high fat, seems better until ketogenic adaptive?" Yes, Rose. I mean, I get a lot of people with adrenal issues. Look, Rose, let me just spell it out for you. Everybody's got adrenal issues. It's very rare that people do not in the modern society of go and pay your bills and not sleep and pharmaceuticals and drink coffee and, so I pretty much feel like all my consultations, you guys, I do consultations. My calendar is completely open. So if you're going to sign up, I just opened it. If you guys want a consultation, you better do it soon because people try to sign up and then all the dates are gone and then they're complaining they can't have a consultation. So FYI, I have a calendar open at stephanieperson.com. But yes, and also Rose, I mean, how many women have thyroid issues? It feels like they all do as well. Like everybody. So you don't literally have to do, low carb, high fat. You can do straight keto, but you got to be strict on it. I mean, I'm not kidding, yo. You got to get to bed super early. You got to regulate your blood sugar. You have to get enough fat in. You have to chew your food extra slow. There's a million things that you have to do with thyroid issues. And now polycystic ovarian syndrome is really great to do right away. But unfortunately, the three go together, right? Adrenal, thyroid, PCOS. Boom. So PCOS also is one of the conditions besides developing cysts in your ovaries, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. Women also develop, their testosterone just skyrockets and they start developing facial hair and chest hair and hair on their belly and hair starts receding and falling out and acne and all this kind of stuff. It's horrible. Us women become afflicted with so many different things. Yes. Also, their estrogen tends to be really, really high. They love you. I have a question. How are some people able to eat 400 carbs a day and stay skinny looking? Britt, how many women are doing that? Okay. Sorry. I've never met a 51-year-old woman who's not an athlete, right? Who's eating 400 carbs a day, staying lean and fit. So you got to contextualize that. And a lot of people who are eating that many carbs a day are bodybuilders and athletes, and they are moving their butt off. And they're men, and they're younger, and they have a lower body fat percentage, and they have less estrogen. Okay, bust it out, Anthony. So congenital adrenal hyperplasia, of which there are subtypes. He's right. There are subtypes. But even though there are subtypes, people tend to have the same problems that create the subtypes, right? Don't sleep. Don't eat right. Don't breathe right. Don't work out. Exposed to too many toxins, heavy metals, poor functioning liver, kidney, dysbiosis of the gut. Like, we all do the same stuff, which creates different types of reaction, different types of subtypes of thyroid issues, adrenal issues, reproductive hormonal issues. We all have different types, all manifest in different types of ways. So, the symptoms that you're seeing are, okay, thank you, Judy. Okay. The symptoms that I see in women with adrenal insufficiencies, inverted cortisol, and thyroid. So PCOS is more uncommon symptom, right? PCOS, high blood sugar, high testosterone, low progesterone, high estrogen, high estradiol. and it just ravages our body. Our hormones are a really big part of the problem. So if you're not breathing properly, diaphragmatic breathing, if you're not becoming more calm in the latter half of your day and be more in a parasympathetic state of calmness, your hormones are just hijacked. They just are. And then if you're eating poor quality foods, or you're skipping meals, or you're intermittent fasting, then the blood sugar starts going like a dunk, 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 and then you get these subtypes of adrenal insufficiency. So with that said, if you're going to do a ketogenic diet, then the solutions are super simple. If you can do them, I don't know. But the solutions are follow a circadian rhythm. That's what our hormones are connected to, right? So right now the sun's starting to go down. What if you eat carbs? And that's a really good question. So if you eat carbs, I would rather that you do low carb, high fat rather than a standard American frack yourself up diet. So it's really interesting because science really doesn't understand 100% how we were as hunter-gatherers. We can only assume. Sorry, and what happens to you if you what? I don't get the question. You have to put it more in context. Like, if you have polycystic ovarian syndrome and if you have thyroid insufficiency and you can't get your stress down, you can't breathe properly and connect to a circadian rhythm, and you're stressed and all of this stuff, you have a bunch of gut issues, yeah, you might have to do things like, so we have to, like, I definitely am a proponent of, and they all suck, sweet potato, yellow squash, which has seeds, and white rice. But at least with the white rice, it's bleached. So all of the irritating anti-nutrients that protect the plant are bleached out. So you're better off doing small amounts of white rice. And if you don't have a problem with sweet potato, then those would be the two starches that I recommend. I wonder if progesterone makes insulin more sensitive. We mean, put it in context, you mean progesterone cream or progesterone high? What you mean, Rose? DNA-based nutrition. It's a little bit, put more in context. You can't say DNA-based nutrition. It should be lifestyle, because then you also have the epigenetic factor, like what you do to your body is going to manifest in what happens to it. So you can't just do DNA testing and be like I said, if it's true that the Inuit cannot produce ketones, but they're eating a ketogenic diet, I really don't know how that's, like, I know that definitely Filipinos, indigenous people, the natives here in the US cannot deal with carbohydrates and alcohol. They can't metabolize it properly. So in that sense, yes. Yes, LaShonda. Happy holidays. Right back to ya. Don't forget to like up the stream, you guys. To like it up, you've got to collapse the X in the left corner. Right corner. And let me see. Yes, progesterone counter estrogen dominance, suppressing thyroid. Could progesterone improve ketone utilization? Okay, so Rose, that's still not in a matter of context. A lot of people have to understand, if you have estrogen dominance but your progesterone is at the right level, or you have estrogen dominance where your estrogen is at the right level but the progesterone is too low. So there's different types of estrogen dominance. And just because you take estrogen cream does not, women take estrogen cream and are like PMSing times 1,000. They're upset, they're anxious, they're headachy, they have all types of psychosis, they have all these issues. And then some people fare really well on it. So the first thing that I recommend for you guys to do is try to balance your hormones by protecting your adrenal system and getting your gut in balance. So that's the first thing I recommend. Then depending on where your estrogen is at, your 3 estrogens, then you could make that decision if you want to do a wild yam thing, rather than progesterone, keto balance hormones. I lost weight. No, keto is, y'all, keto just isn't going to magically fix things. It's not. It's just not. You know, once we become of a particular age, then the cells aren't, the body is not going to function as strongly as it did when you were, you know, me at 51. My body's not going to respond the same. So my body, as you can see, I'm super fit right now. Steph's rocking the fit body, the keto body. But you guys, what you don't understand is that I've been protecting my adrenals my entire life. I've always been very careful not to over push my body in any, well, I think the dumbest thing that I did when I was younger is of course, you guys, I used to be a professional skateboarder. And keto, regenerate kidneys are helping anyway. Yes, it can hurt or help the kidney function. So kidneys are very connected. I'm like bouncing around now, but it's hard because you guys are asking really good questions. So, okay, let me talk about the kidneys. Let me talk about the hormones. So, seriously, the first thing I recommend is try to protect your adrenals first by going to bed early, by breathing properly, by not skipping meals, unfortunately, as a modern human, because if we're going to fast, we have to rest. We never rest, so we have to eat to keep the fuel so the adrenal function doesn't whack out and when you don't have the hypothalamus adrenal response, which ends up being the hypothalamus adrenal thyroid response. And try your best to get yourself, especially in the evening, in a parasympathetic state. So then hopefully you can try to rebalance your hormones. Oh yeah, and heal the gut and get down the itises. And if that doesn't work, if that just doesn't work, and you've done everything you can, your progesterone is still in the tank, then that's something you can consider as a cream. That's all I can say, not being a gynecologist. And fat balance hormones, mid-20s, 20s myself, what kinds of, what? Mid-20s myself, what kinds specifically? If you don't, I think I just explained it. I hope I got it right there. Okay, no, kidneys. Keto can help rebalance your hormones because my version of keto is so strict in comparison to everyone else that a lot of people begin to heal in many other ways. My gut's healing, you know, my hormones are balancing. A lot of people, if they do it the right way, then their period will come back if it's been gone, for example. If they're not ovulating, they'll start ovulating again. These are the things that I've seen over the years, but it takes a lot of effort to do this the right way, which is a lot of freaking calming your shite down, get into a parasympathetic state of calm, and getting into more of a homeostatic balance. That takes a lot of work. You got to ground yourself. You got to get your butt outside and smell the fresh air and be in nature and breathe right and eat right and chew slow and all kinds of stuff. And then yes, now the kidneys. So my version of keto, which everybody else is like, oh, you can have as much protein as you want to. And who cares about the kind of protein? You can drink a bunch of protein shakes. And then there's keto protein shakes. So I'm just laughing my head off. But yeah, my version is moderate to low protein. So people, this is very debatable, but me working with a lot of people, what I've noticed is that their blood sugar becomes very dysregulated and spikes easily with too much protein and eating protein too fast. So I started taking down people's protein and people started to adapt, straight up adapt. Once they drop their protein, not cut it out. You're still having daily protein. You're just not eating enormous amounts of protein, especially if you're not using your body. There's not a more of a need for that much protein. And especially if you become more insulin sensitive, you don't need bolus amounts of insulin to get the amino acids from the protein that you eat into the muscle cells to grow. Plus you're less catabolic. So the demand for protein is much less. So when people cut down their protein, they're not turning into little twigs. They're still building, you guys. Look, I'm freaking 51. I'm building muscle all day, every day. What? All day, every day. What? Stop kidding me. Okay. So do you think paleo works? So I don't like to call it paleo. I like to call it low carb, high fat. And paleo can work if you guys who have gut dysbiosis, histamine, missing these enzymes and bacteria to break down plant foods. No, keto would be better, way better. Keto carnivore would be the best. But if you do have oxalobacter bacteria, you do have enough DAO, and you don't react so strongly to plant source foods, then yes, then low carb, high fat would be great for somebody who's a night shift worker. But if you have the ability to be a day shift worker and you can balance your stress and get to bed remotely, or not remotely, but somewhat at a decent time, which is around between 9 and 10, then why would you do paleo? You're still going to need to eat carbs all day long. You still have the stress of a modern human all day long. You still need to have your glycogen stores high, or else your blood sugar becomes dysregulated, and you're on a blood sugar roller coaster swing on even a low carb, high fat diet. So keto keeps you sustained all day long, and you're less catabolic for that reason. So that's the reason why I've been preaching keto for 11 years straight. Y'all know that. So no, keto would be optimal. But if you guys have blood sugar issues and hypoglycemia and your hair just is like hemorrhaging, you can't. And the reason why people's hair keeps falling out while doing keto over time and why it's not improving is because they don't improve their stress. And don't tell me you're not stressed, because we are all stressed. We open up the mailbox and we're like, oh no, it's a bill, or it's this, or it's that, or blah, 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 blah. And, or relationships. It's something that no one talks about. Come on, relationships tax you. Relationships, it doesn't matter if it's a boyfriend or a girlfriend or like a husband, a wife, your children, you get stressed like crazy and you accept it as normal, but it's not normal, because as hunter-gatherers, we wouldn't have this messiness. Everybody would have their role in a tribe. Okay, let me see either. Okay. Saw a study that after 8 weeks of rats, it's over. Rose, sorry. So rats have nothing to do with humans on keto, like nothing. So just forget that. Rat studies, nope, not with keto. You got to do human studies. Okay, look great. Looked great on Dr. Oz. You know, I'm not used to being on a TV show, so when I saw myself, I was like, oh, that makeup. Like, it wasn't me, right? Although I did slay the outfit. I did like the Wonder Woman bangles and stuff. But anyway, thank you so much. Not insulin resistant. So you got to remember, and if you type in something 20 comments later, I don't even remember what you last said at all. Let's see here. See, Rose, we are not rats. Richard. Richard cracking me up. Yeah. When it comes to rat studies and keto, I mean, it's absolutely useless, right? So's the whole cholesterol debate. Completely useless. Or else I must be either a ghost, or I might have some kind of like alien friggin' like genes that prevents me. If cholesterol is supposed to give you plaquing and calcification of the arteries and bring up your blood pressure, like seriously, blood pressure, bump, HDL, bump, triglycerides, like healthy, my arteries are like so freaking healthy. It's stupid how healthy they are. Why have I not had any coronary artery disease symptoms with 11 years being on keto? Boop. And no Hashis, boop. No PCOS, boop. None of that. And you guys can see what my hormones look like. We don't even have to do a blood test. Let's just look at my hormones at 51. Slade, yes. Thank you, Rose. I appreciate it. Clothing line. Yeah, you guys know I love, you know, I'm a funky girl. I like fashion to a degree. Like everything I wear is cheap most of the time. Like, I don't like to spend a lot of money on stuff. I just like to make it fun. So I definitely would love to do a clothing line in the future. Fully fat adapt, then fast. Right, then fast? You mean fasting? The business, right, Michelle? People who are having difficulties with their hair consistently shedding, it's not because they can't do keto with their blood type or genetics or anything like that, or their DNA. It's because the lifestyle has them chained and they can't make enough alterations, either emotionally, psychologically, or lifestyle, and they just can't. And then they would be better candidate to do a low carb, high fat version, but then you have to time your carbs out all day long to make sure your glycogen is still, you know, that you're not running on like just blood glucose. and haven't eaten all day long. Yeah, no fasting. It's like we can go by all these studies and, oh, doesn't your body release growth and this, that, growth H, and doesn't your body clear out the liver, kidney, colon? But if I just go beyond what the science says, because you're not dealing with all populations when you're doing the commentary or the anecdotal understanding of what fasting does, or the autophagy or autophagy, the problem is that people can't regulate the stress in their life. So if you're inflamed over here, this is not the solution. You are your own problem. You got to go down the rabbit hole and find out why you've started to develop these second and third problems and deal with that as you're trying to do these dietary measures. Yes, fasting does destroy your hormones. And I've seen it over and over again. So people are like, how dare she? Like, I can't stand when people come at me like that. Like, don't comment. Like, it was great for me. And I was like, who cares? Who cares? What about the 500? And people will always, when people drink Kool-Aid, like a way of life, a lifestyle, they will protect that till the bitter end, even if their body's falling apart. It's just the way it is. So I don't like to hear people say, well, I do great on it. And that's the reason why I don't necessarily want to show the food that I eat in a day, because I've done keto so long and I'm so freaking strict. I'm strict keto that, and you guys know that I'm a research junkie and I'm trying to understand junkie, and I'm just trying to understand. A lot of people don't have time for that. That's why you guys come to me. Probably low insulin factor foods. Apparently beef is more insulinogenic than cod, eggs. That's not true, Rose. That is not true. That is not true. Everything that's too much of a broad statement, right? Then cod, would you say? Insulin foods and beef. Like, so what do you mean, Rose? So like, what if you're saying that beef is more has an insulin factor? What does that mean? Your insulin's really high on beef? Because it's not with me. So, and I was like, so I don't know what you mean by that. A very good point, Richard. And it's the type of beef. Is it grass-fed? Is it corn-fed, finished? Is it ground? How old is the meat? Are you having issues with your oxalates? Are you forming purines and crystals and stones in your kidneys? There's charts out there rating them. That doesn't mean anything, Rose. You just got to be careful with the information out there, because there are people that I think are absolutely brilliant, like Chris Kresser, and he'll straight up say women can't do keto. And he used to say this a long time ago. Women can't do keto for the long term. And I'm like, then why am I just becoming younger on keto? Why? Why is that? Can you explain that? Why are my health markers, why is everything really, really amazing on keto? Can you explain that? Can you explain why my mother survived a glioblastoma on keto? You can't? Okay, well, we need to let time go by as to learn more about what happens to people who do keto the right way over the long term. That's very interesting. That's good to know, because there's so much disinfo, yeah, disinformation. It's messing everything up. You're right. And there is, Rose. You know, and the reason why I just kind of always revert back to the people that I've worked with, because if you're having 5,000 people, it's not 5,000 yet, but it's getting up there, 3,000. If you're having 3,000 people say, you know, hey, this happens to me. So you have this group that's like, I have my hair falling out. I have low blood pressure, high blood pressure. I've got kidney issues. I've got rheumatoid arthritis, polycystic ovarian syndrome, multiple sclerosis. The guy I was talking about the other day who's got Parkinson's, he's like, Stephanie, I need your help again. Can I be your test subject? He said that today. And I was like, all right, you got to cut out all the stuff that you do. You cannot train with your central nervous system getting taxed through Parkinson's. And I said, I want to try a carnivore, keto carnivore version. He's like, I'm doing keto. I'm like, no, you're not doing keto. You're not. You're having starches sometimes. He's like, but it's not very often. And I'm like, but what if you have a gene mutation? What if you have the MTHFR gene mutation? What if you're not getting enough methylfolate? What if, like the doctors aren't going to look at that kind of stuff? Like, what if you are missing this bacteria or enzymes? So I was like, we can't go by what the Parkinson's science says, because they're going to tell him, take these meds and it's not anything else but a genetic disorder and that's it, you're SOL. So often when I'm working with people, you just got to try stuff. Does this work? Does that? Oh, that didn't work. Well, let's try this instead. Oh, that didn't work. Right? Because we can go by numbers all day long, but at the end of the day, you have to go by how people respond to certain types of actions or treatments or protocols. That's all you can do. So when I was first coaching people, I had people on cheese and I had people on nuts and caffeine and all this stuff, and they weren't adapting. So I started deconstructing and taking it out, and then they started adapting. It's not like rocket science in that context. Okay, thanks, Richard. Appreciate Steph a lot because she's living proof. Yeah, no, I think I like Rose's way to challenge the conversation. No, it's all good. I guess confusing. Yeah, other factors. I love beef too. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about beef unless you have some type of histamine reaction. Like if you're getting beef and it's the animal was slaughtered, the cow was slaughtered like 3-4 weeks ago. It's been sitting in a refrigerator. How it's been transported? Are you reacting to the bacteria? Are you reacting to the methionine? Are you reacting to the purines? Are you reacting to the uric acid? Are you reacting, to low stomach acid? What are you reacting to? We don't know. So you got to experiment. Try the best quality of beef. Know which cow it came from. Know how fresh it is. Eat it very slow. Make sure that you have the right digestive properties to be able to break down the beef. Rose, I don't know if it's okay to eat beef every day. We wouldn't do that in the nature. So we would eat bugs, we would eat beef, we'd eat birds if we can catch them. We eat a lot of stuff. So I like for people to rotate their foods. So, and I'm really into people eating the organ meats. So if you can rotate it, then rotate it. So I've been going like beef liver, lamb liver, heart. Like I've been doing it in these cycles, and then all the other meats like salmon and pork and chicken and whatever, sardines on occasion. My son and I did ketone test strips. You mean urine strips or blood glucometer strips? Oh, the color was close to black. Okay, so Hannah, urine strips don't work. And I'm surprised. I've been saying this for like 6-7 years on the internet. You can only use freaking glucose strips blood. Blood. No breathalyzers. No one's even talking about those breathalyzers anymore because they don't work. They don't yerk. They don't work, and the urine strips are useless. Get rid of them. So all that's showing me is that you're hemorrhaging ketones. Are you using them? Probably not using all of them. Yeah, she's using urine strips, Richard, because she said that it turned the color of black. So that's suggestive of urine. Can we get the likes up, guys? Let's get the likes up and bring people to this channel of Wacky Stephanie, who tries to educate people on just all the symptoms that people have. And if you're going to do keto, be very careful. And if you don't believe me, totally cool. Do your own research. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Frank is like blown up. People love old Frankie. But he's new to the game. And if you want to go over to his live stream, Calvin, and tell him I said hello. Thank you, Ricard. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate the donation, which you don't have to do, but I really appreciate it. Yeah, you guys are coming. You and Toby are coming to Cali. I got to remember. DM me on Facebook and let me know the dates again, because I kind of forgot. Mind is stuffed with a lot of stuff. Okay, do you guys have more questions? You guys are very mellow today. No trolls unless Richard got to the trolls and I didn't see the trolls. I think I hit the subject, right? I think I got the subject. Why Are children so overweight at such a young age? Is it cause of early metabolism dysfunction? Calories up? Oh, Brit. Children are overweight because they're eating man-manipulated garbage. The 29th. What day is that? What day is that, Richard? I forgot, because today's the 26th. Oh, that's on Saturday? Is it Saturday or Sunday? Okay, just remind me, because if you don't remind me, I won't remember. Children are overweight because their liver, kidney, colon, gut is dysfunctional. They have a lot of inflammation in the body. Their blood sugar is all over the place. Kids are not going to bed early. They're not following circadian rhythm. They are already born in utero with exposure to all these types of chemicals because of what the mother is consuming. So their DNA, they're being C-section babies and they're not being breastfed. They don't have enough gut bacteria to keep their body in balance. And they're eating a lot of processed sugars and carbs, and their blood sugar's like crazy, their insulin's like crazy, and they start storing fat. And then their fat cells become inefficient, because a lot of you guys don't understand that fat cells get real lazy. They're very good at storing and not very good at burning. So you can't just diet and not eat and intermittent fast and do a fasted cardio and you're going to burn. You're going to start getting men, you're going to get little scrawny legs, and women are going to start to get little like smaller in certain parts of the body and keep the fat all going here and get really mushy in their muscles. Can't live without coffee, should I? You know, the one thing that's very difficult is when I hear grown-ass people tell me what they can't do. I mean, come on, we're grown-ups. You know what I mean? If coffee became a poison to you and you would die from it, you would stop. So you shouldn't talk in that way, because if you talk in that way, you're going to live in that way. Okay, so do you believe in incorporating seed cycling? Seed? No. Seed cycling? What do you mean, LaShonda? I'm totally confused. You mean flaxseed? Thanks, Steph. When's best to incorporate low intensity or 10-minute intention exercise? A few weeks after keto. If you guys don't have, you guys have to see the sky. It's so beautiful too. Let me show you the sky really quick. I know I'm going to digress. I don't care. Oh, look at that sky. So nice. It's even more orange than it appears on my camera. I just had to show you guys for a second. Okay, let's see here the questions. Pumpkin seeds. No, pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds. I mean, I don't know flax. They say that flax is a phytoestrogen that can help regulate your actual estrogen dominance, but I don't know. That's something I haven't tested. And you do believe it incorporates keto. No, you can't adapt on coffee. I haven't seen it. Nope. Work with a lot of people who are coffee drinkers. They're all metabolically screwed up, because if you start drinking coffee and you're dependent on it, pretty sure you can't regulate your blood sugar. That's why I use the coffee. See, it forces your body to produce adrenaline, right? So your body's like, I'm tired, and like, too bad, I'm going to drink some caffeine. We're going to slap around your adrenals. No, get rid of the coffee. It's garbage. And you guys aren't even drinking mycotoxin-free organic coffee. You guys are just drinking garbage from the supermarket. It's crazy. It's a beautiful day, right, Rose? No matcha green tea. Herbal tea. Done. Okay, what time is it? Okay, it's 5 o'clock. It's so nice outside. I feel so freaking lucky, you guys. Don't forget to like the stream, you guys. Don't forget to like the stream. I thought I would just remind you guys to it's real. I've been analyzing being on the internet. You know, I have a friend, I saw him at the gym today, and he's a hairstylist, and I was like, why don't you go online to promote your stuff? He's like, nope. And what about ghee? Ghee is fine if you don't have an issue with the whey and casein, even though it's cooked. What supplements do you recommend on taking while doing keto? Magnesium, glycinate in the morning, and if you can't poop, citrate. No, glycinate at night, citrate in the morning, or just glycinate. Where do you buy your loose tea leaves? I have a place here called Air One. It's amazing. So there you go. But I live here in California. I've got everything: Gelson, Sprouts, Air One, Whole Foods, Traders, you name it. Even little specialty markets all over the place. Any recipe book or cooking videos? I have done cooking videos. I will do more. Recipe book, yes. Coming, yes, soon. What about these nuts? What? I don't get it. Sorry, Black Flag. So I'm on the internet, and we haven't evolved yet to understand, like, I'm talking to my phone. There's nobody in the apartment, my shoebox, except for me. And you become triggered on what people say. You must have done something, Black Flag, that Richard was not approving of. So so you guys are like, it's so funny because, oh, what did he say, Richard? What was he inferring? What was he trying to say? Oh, thank you, Noel. People will tell me what to dress like, how to act. They will nonstop comment about stuff that I find just funny. It's comical at this juncture. These nuts. I don't think that's good to block him on that. I mean, unless he was doing something worse. So, because he's been on, I think, another stream and he was fine. So maybe you could just unblock him, Richard, and put him in timeout. Nah, I'm not. Nah, it's not that bad, Richard. Can you unblock him and just time him out? It's not that bad to me. Okay. Alea Chang, is that how you say your name? Or you timed him out? Okay, that's fine. Timeout is fine. You don't have to block him yet. So as I'm trying to explain all of these things, like every stream, I do start to understand more, like, okay, who needs to stop doing keto? Who needs to graduate into keto? Who can do it overnight? My streams are more going in that direction, so I find it very funny when people are just bringing up stuff that's kind of irrelevant and telling me what to do, and don't say hello to the people in your chat and get to the friggin' point. And it's just, it's a strange reality that we're living in. So I just want to remind you guys to be who you are. Don't let people control you, even though they think that they have the answer. So a lot of people out there might feel that they have the answer on how I should conduct myself, but I don't know who you are, so I kind of don't care. And I've been doing this for so long, and I've been learning through osmosis. I'm very autodidacty. I really learn by just paying attention. I make mistakes. I learn from my mistakes. What I suggested before on keto is what I'm not necessarily suggesting now, or I've evolved to suggest more insightfulness, just more. So that's what I kind of wanted to conclude this stream with, is that I'm just doing me. I'm just one of those people that gets really excited. I didn't do keto because I was trying to lose weight, ever. Oh, thank you, Noel. Thank you. I never did keto for weight loss. I did it because my mom was dying of cancer, and I was doing the diet with her to motivate her to stay on the course. Conduct how you seek those people trying to stress adrenals, right, Rose? Exactly. Exercise videos. Yes, exercise videos. I tried to do some exercise videos at my gym, but my freaking my phone carrier is horrible, and then the Wi-Fi in the gym is horrible, and it's not working. So I've got to do an antiquated, like, pre-made video and then upload it later. And I will do that. I've been so busy in 2018. So 2019, I will be more busy, but I will be able to deconstruct everything and get the book done, and create all new meal plans, exercise plans, like do more things, because I just know more now. I just know more. So the more of what I know will go into the content that I'm creating for you guys. And I'm just one person, so it's kind of hard. I'm running the Keto Facebook course membership group, and I do consultations. Like, I do a lot of stuff. And then I got to take care of myself, and I still got to take care of my mother. Richard says, sign up for Stephanie's Facebook, the Keto course private group. It's really, really, really good, you guys. So for those who are on the fence about it, it's a pay group, so it's $15 a month. You can do it for 1 month and just see if you like it. And if you don't, you just bounce out. Okay, let's see. I learned a lot from you, and I'm grateful. Keep being you. I'm definitely going to purchase your book when it comes out. Thank you, LaShonda. Yeah, it's going to be a really, really good book because, like, when I'm pretty science-minded, but some people that I follow, I'm like, yo, this is way too much of entanglement of science stuff, and it doesn't necessarily fit what's actually happening, right? A lot of anecdotal theology on cellular function, and it's like, especially with keto. So I'm like, let's just go by what's actually happening to the people, and let's factor in all of the issues. So I started getting more into autoimmunity and all the health issues people have because I was trying to coach them on a ketogenic diet, and I realized that their lifestyle and their health issues prior were the reason why I wasn't getting anywhere with them with my coaching, my online coaching stuff. So I started going way down that hole to figure out all of these diseases. Why do people develop polycystic? First of all, what is polycystic ovarian syndrome? Why do women develop it? You know, what is hemochromatosis? Why do men develop that commonly? Or not commonly, but men are to commonly develop hematomacrosis. Why the diabetes thing? What about the calories in, calories out? What about athletes? Like, all of these things matter. You don't see me making a bunch of ding-dongs and ho-hos and pizza and all these videos that become very food porn, salacious, and talking about weight loss and my weight loss journey and putting together a 90-day lose weight on Steph's keto plan. I don't do that because it's of no interest to me. My book will have recipes, but I wish it didn't. I only have recipes in the book because it's going to draw you to the book to read about the body and about keto. That's the reason why I have recipes in the book. Otherwise, I would never do a recipe book. I don't care. I'm not a food addict. I want people to get healthy. I want them to open their mind. We're going into the future, and the future is scary, you guys. And if you're not ready, you're going to fall back. I'm dealing with sick people. Everybody is. Everybody's tired. They're confused. They're upset. They're depressed. They're emotional. They have gut issues. They can't poop. They poop too much. Sunday free on Sundays I do free mini consultations on the course page. So you guys can do consultations with me on the course page on Sundays. You need a second consultation to help me make your 2019 goals. Boom! So here's Noelle, someone I've done a consultation with who wants a second one. And, you know, Richard, Noelle, people like this on the course page. Richard's on the page. He's, you know, helping me out without me having to ask. And I've gotten some really loyal people who believe in what I'm doing. So that gives me the confidence to keep moving forward, because who has the right to say how anything is? You know, you got to just check out what I'm saying. If it makes sense, cool. And if it doesn't, keep rolling on to someone else that will fit your ideology. Shrimp is not a keto food, but you can have it from time to time if you're at a restaurant. I wouldn't go and buy lean meat, and, you know, shrimp are like bottom feeders. They're like dirty seafood. So I wouldn't have it all the time. Super just watch protein levels. Yes. Okay, guys, we're sitting at 1 hour, and thank you so much for getting the like ratio over the amount of people in the chat. And it's just so weird. There's just this apocalyptic reaction. Like, there's so many less people on my live streams. Very bizarre. It's very weird. But the people who did make it today, I really appreciate that you came into today's chat. I really do appreciate it. So you guys are going into 2019. Please don't think that anything in life is hard. We make things hard up in here. You guys want the body, like so many older women, wanting to do fitness competitions, which I really don't like, to be honest, because it's so hard on the body. But if you want to reach physical goals, you got to clean up the inside, and you have to clean up this, right? This is a big part of the problem. So if you can get this fixed, you can get this fixed. So you guys, happy holidays, happy belated Christmas to those people, and happy New Year. It's coming up soon. Time flies when you're having fun. Love you, Steph. My first time will surely return. Aw, thank you so much, Rose. Really, really appreciate it. I never have New Year's resolutions for the New Year's. I think it's so ridiculous. Yes, Richard, the distraction is real. Distraction? Yeah. Thank you, thank you. Happy holidays, Steph and Richard. Thank you, Rose. I never have 2019 or the New Year's resolution, but this year I will do it because I gotta roll up my sleeves because I got some stuff to do, you guys. It's time to get freaking jiggy with it. I'm gonna hit 2019 hard. Y'all want to see cooking videos, you want to see the book done, you want to see all this stuff. I'm going to go to your town and hopefully and do some live seminars like I did 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. And I want to inspire people to not give up. To me, it's not so much about keto as it is about learning and living and not giving up. Like not aging, not getting old. Don't give up. Things are achievable. Like I feel more about that. And keto, my version of keto is about, hey, did you ever try to figure out why you've got shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, sciatica? Did you ever figure out why you have sinus infections, colds all the time? You've got plaquing on your teeth, cavities, bad breath, vaginosis, itchy bum, white tongue, scaly scalps, eczema all the time. That's what I love to figure out because nobody wants to live with all that crap. I haven't pooped in 4 days or 5 days or 2 weeks, or I'm pooping 6 times a day. Like that stuff I want to fix with you guys to end all of that ridiculousness because we have been misinformed and misled. We've hurt our bodies inadvertently. We didn't realize it. We jump on these dietary trends. We're like intermittent fasting. We're doing HIIT training, intermittent fasting, fasted state. And we're just doing bodybuilding competitions, which are horrible. So many women want to do fitness and figure and they want to do bikini things. It's so bad for you to think that way. And there is a way to have the body that you want, you guys, without literally having to destroy yourself in the process of doing it. This whole no pain, no gain thing, we've got to reevaluate that idea. It's, first of all, life shouldn't be painful. It should be, things should be difficult so you can actually appreciate when things go well. But we are fracked up. We got to get things fixed. So that's where my brain's at. And since I use keto as my vehicle to heal you guys and help you guys to learn more about your body and your existing health, and that as we get older, we don't have to get just crepey skin and gluconeogenic and exhausted all the time, and our hormones are jacked, and men, your testosterone's too low, and women have endometriosis and cysts and fibroids, and the doctors just remove your uterus, and women people have their gallbladders removed. It's really disgusting. And doctors here, take this medication, and you don't even think that there are alternatives. Even in the natural holistic functional doctors are like, here, take this supplement. No, not so fast. Hello, there's a reason why you start developing UTIs or kidney stones or crystals. There's a reason why. Let's figure out how you develop this. And then before you start adding in all these supplementation. Okay, guys. Happy holidays. Let's see. Clock on tail thumbnail that says Keto Course Membership Facebook group. Oh, yeah. Richard, can you type out stephanieperson.com just so people can see the spelling of it too before I go? Don't forget to go to my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, and you can sign up for the course page through my website, plus a consultation. My calendar is open now. I just opened it, and I got some energy, because you know what? This is the mother sucking business. I used to say, on this many years or this age. Now I'm like freaking 51. I started saying, oh, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. So. Bye, bestie. Bye, LaShonda. Thank you so much, Richard, for helping out with everything. Thank you so much for posting my website, which is stephanieperson.com. This is now what I do. This is how I make my living. So hope, understandably, people realize that I'm trying my hardest to research and work with people and then come back at you with all the information. So our parents no longer have to have cancer. Like my mother had a glioblastoma. She's still alive. And more people are watching their parents die of heart attacks and cancer and diseases, and it's horrible. We got to stop this so it doesn't happen to us. All right, guys. Peace out. Happy holidays. Biz.